All right, everybody. I am here with Corina Tello. Hey, Corina.
Hi.
And Corina is with Kale Realty. Now, she's not only a real estate agent, but she's an investor, a coach. You do international real estate, and you're a triathlete. That's exciting.
Hi. It is exciting. I love it.
How many
Thank you.
miles or what is it? Biking, swimming, and running?
Swimming, biking, and running, and I just finished today my training. I'm training for an Ironman in Tulsa, 140.6 miles,
Oh,
and
no,
today,
that's so
yeah,
far.
it's a long day. But to me, it's a lot of fun. It's basically how I get my mind cleared. And
Nice.
sometimes when challenges face my way, I just sit on the bike today for an hour and a half. I run for 30 minutes, and then I'm just ready to keep on keeping on.
It's that easy.
Love it.
Nice.
That is.
Well, Karina's in Chicago, and we'll get some contact information after. But Karina, you're our tiebreaker. So your question is, how do you handle a difficult co-op agent?
Well, difficult in regards to what? What is there in a specific example per se?
Um, I think like mostly we were talking about maybe not communicating was like kind of the biggest one. I mean, what's the biggest
I,
one that
I,
you've
I
seen?
I had a couple of them. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is a very popular broker here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
He handles. We're started speaking of short sales. He handles. So the bank handles him, volume.
Okay.
So when someone he posts this on social media and such, when someone is requesting this information, usually on the feed, I either send my email address, please send forward information, and he usually replies, send email to this email address.
Oh,
So then we inbox, and for some reason he's very protective of this information. So it's like too many steps to go there, right? To
yeah.
start.
Like a lot
I'm
of
like,
hoops to
okay,
jump through. Why do you think that
yeah.
is?
So, and again, as an investor, we're looking to volume as well. So, okay,
Yeah.
next, next, next. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I also represent. So, if anybody that's listening to locally there, if anybody wants to invest here, I'll be happy to have a conversation about that. But I
Nice.
have investors in Texas precisely.
Okay.
And so I am their eyes, I am their everything. So I find this property, I usually just shoot them a quick picture, numbers, this. They were from Chicago, so they know the area well. So it's awesome how we do business without
Yeah.
even 5 seconds, everything is yes or no.
Yeah.
So immediately started emailing these folks. It was about midnight, and I was surprised at their reply, by email. So anyway, immediately I booked an appointment. I want to bring the inspector, everyone. I have 3 parties to go to. And the gentleman goes, well, in order for us to make an appointment, we have to pre-qualify the buyer. And I'm thinking,
I already
I
did that.
I don't believe this. And so there's so many steps, and then a long email with an explanation of why yes or no and X, Y, Z. And I'm thinking, by the time that this gentleman is finishing this, I'm closing 2 transactions on the other side.
Right.
So I feel like in this particular case, this person is so overprotective that he wants to command everything. And another one big of his is the following. He bashes at anybody that wants to go to these properties that are short sale and
Yeah.
want to lowball it. So
Right.
what if they want to lowball it? Or if they go as is and they change their mind after inspections and start negotiating, he complains about the fact that they said as is. But guess what? We're in negotiating process.
Right.
This is all a negotiating, and if I don't like it, there's a middle point. This is not a cookie cutter situation. Most realtors, with all the respect, follows are cookie cutters.
Yeah.
I just had another, okay, here goes another transaction with a very nice lady. And again, everybody's different. I get it. We all have different strategies. She was very open to listen to my strategies, which I appreciated, because some attorneys have shut me down completely because I don't
Yeah.
like the owner carry, and I get it. But again, this is a negotiating process. You're supposed to be representing your client to the best. So
Right.
if you have this knowledge, you should practice, in my opinion. So this particular lady, was so scared that she transferred all this information to like communication from me to the attorney. And sometimes attorneys and the attorneys feel like, why are they talking to the realtor?
Mm.
And I didn't want to bother my attorney, because my attorney is already busy. She already understands where I'm coming from.
Right.
I was communicating to the realtor. The realtor, handles the situation to the attorney. The attorney feels like I'm not up to par
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
negotiate.
Right.
And I lose a transaction.
But
So,
like, if you were though, so let's go back to the first story about the agent that it's not that they're poorly communicating, but there's just so many hoops to jump through. How do you handle that?
well, I've done this. This is what I've truly done. With him, I think he has the power, but I take it upon the fact that you need to represent your buyer seller to the best, and you're not presenting my things, and I'm going to show you that that's your job. So I go straight to the broker.
Okay.
Again, in this particular case, he's been favorable of the broker, but that's been every step I take. When I didn't work on Sundays, kind of listing agent. That is a no. If I were the seller, she will lose the license. We know that. So I go straight to the brokers. I had a lady making very personal comments. Same thing. I'm like, just have you any idea? You're not supposed to be saying this on my page on Facebook.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And I literally to the broker, straight to most of the time, the brokers, and again, we go back to the volume.
Yeah.
The brokers know the laws. The brokers, we are highly protected, highly regulated. Can't just be saying and speaking. I love the fact that you're adventurous with your podcast because it's just perhaps addressing bad practice in the industry. But I go straight to the source.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to daddy and mommy.
Oh, you just go straight to tattling. You must have been the baby of your family.
I'm the only child.
Oh no, Corina. That's hilarious. Well, I like it. I mean, it is a good idea, because it's like, look, if you're not playing fair, then we're just gonna like stop and we're just gonna go straight to the source and get it handled, because we're all trying to get to the same end, which is complete this transaction.
I also waste my energy, and I think CAR, the Chicago Association of Realtors, they probably know me now.
Oh no, you're on their list. Like,
I am.
You're on the speed dial.
And there she is again. But they listen to me like, you need to, there's so many steps to follow, but I think I just feel better. And then I go when I call the managing broker, I usually tell them I have a call CAR and I'm on my way to call the Illinois. I don't even know the name of the entity. I tell them I'm going to call the Illinois.
It's like what would it be? The Illinois Realtor.
In Oklahoma was the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission. I know here is, I think, licensing. I gave up in learning all these names.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's where my passion about doing the right thing comes from. Going back to Oklahoma and Tulsa, where it's a state that's very highly regulated because there is no the attorney presence. So the brokers have to become this protection body. Yeah. Anything and everything can be used against you in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
So especially with dealing the monies and the legals and all of that. So I remember, I felt like when I was learning the practice of the real estate and negotiating contracts, I remember having challenges, and I felt like I was in law school or when I was practicing law in Mexico. Yeah. I was sitting with my professor, and he'll have this story, and that's how this managing brokers were. Well, in the code, blah, blah, blah. Some of them were the teachers of this company, you know, so it is fascinating to have these conversations. And I think that's what got me to learn so much. And also my clients were so challenging here. I mean, in the States, because of the documents that allowed me to learn how to negotiate owner carry, lease options, just because I would be asking questions. How do I help this person? No papers, but this money, this, that. So my brokers were like, well, you could do this, you could do that. I had no clue all of this existed, which there's
a lot of investment strategies that a traditional realtor doesn't know for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's-
But
Mhm.
that's a different podcast. That's a different. I really appreciate you being on. So your tip is, if it's difficult, it doesn't need to be. So just go straight to the broker and handle it and be done with it.
Because otherwise you're going to be he said, she said, and
It's
just wasting your
annoying.
energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you are right, of course, if you think you have the right thing, I think the most common complaints that I hear are, didn't present my offer, told me that the offer is too low. Didn't, well, if there is no pre-approval, I'm with it. I'm not presenting anything because that's not for sale, or not answering the calls, the house isn't
Right.
for sale. I mean,
Right.
that's a no-no. Or like negotiating for the seller, like this broker does. I know it's a bank and I know it's stiff process, but don't negotiate for them. Then make the decisions for them. I don't care how they are. So it is, go straight to the mom and dad and tell them what the issue is and have the broker solve it. Go to your broker too. If you're not familiar with this, if you feel uncomfortable, or you are with a broker, like my broker is very loose per se. We're very highly independent here. We're very, very independent. So if you have a broker, or you're in a brokerage that's more conservative, my suggestions, go to your broker. And I would hope that that broker picks up the phone and stands up for you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, and if you're not, go find another brokerage.
Right, exactly.
Seriously, there's so many, and it doesn't matter what brand it is. The people is the important part. Knowledgeable, and someone that says, let's just stop being babies. Not like, oh, it's the weekend, let's call them on Monday. No.
Right. No. Right. No, I get it. Well, if people have a referral in Chicago, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. I'm all over social media with Corina Tello, or Corina Tello, but my phone number, area code 312-388-1418.
Okay.
My email address is my first name, Corina, Corina, at corinatello.com. And my Instagram page is Vive de tus Rentas.
Oh, no.
Exactly. That was, we didn't think about the name when we thought of this situation. Vive de tus Rentas is a very colloquial slogan that we would say in Mexico. Oh, we don't know how this person made its fortune. Well, he lives off of his rents.
Okay.
And it's
Gotcha.
what they're saying, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being on. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's great talking to you, and hopefully we'll chat soon.
We will.